Josh. This video is for you to show you my Okie Joe smoker with the modifications that I have. The first part I want to show you is the RTV sealant that I've used to seal up all the joints where the firebox meets the smoking chamber, in all the seams around the firebox, also the joints around the exhaust tube. The next thing I want to show you is the gasket that I used around the smoking chamber, also around the firebox. That gasket can be purchased on Amazon, or you can go to, if you just Google gaskets, smoker gaskets online, there's a couple sources that come up for that. Also I wanted to show you where my water pan goes on top of my dampener. I know it's hard to see this, but I have my own modified dampener in there that lowers, if we look on the inside, it actually lowers the import into the smoker itself to create a little bit smaller of an opening. I'd say it hangs down about 1.5 inches, and then comes out I would say about 8 inches, 10 inches into the cooking chamber itself. And on top of that, I set my water pan. Usually I use 2 of those water pans depending on what I'm cooking. They do 2 things. They help control the humidity inside the smoker. They also allow the area that's the hottest up against the firebox to not get so hot at grate level. Here's my 3-inch elbow attachment that it actually is really easy to install. It just slides right over the top of the exhaust outlet, and what that does is that actually brings your exhaust right down to grate level, allowing a more consistent temperature throughout your smoker. Now I'm going to show you my exhaust modification. That's your standard elbow that's on an Okie Joe smoker, and I found that a 3-inch pipe sliding down over the top allows you to put a rain cover over the top of it. Now most of the time I smoke with the exhaust wide open, but if I need to close the damper on the exhaust side, I have the ability to, let me see if I can zoom that in a little bit there. I have the ability to just slide this up and down and open and close that dampener as need be. I wanted to show you a couple other modifications that I've done. I did a second door on this smoker to allow more air intake into the firebox. I also moved the intake dampener door and put it on the outside. Now I've got the lever still on it. Most of the time I take this lever off if I'm not using my Barbecue Guru, but because I use my Barbecue Guru quite a bit, most of these stay closed all the time. My Barbecue Guru, and I don't know if you can see this, actually blows air through this input into it right here. It plugs into this input at the base of the firebox. It's a 10 CFM fan and allows it to keep a steady temperature all the time. A couple other modifications that I have done are, I went to the hardware store and bought these hooks, and what those hooks do is allow me to lock my cover down tight against the gasket, and it keeps it sealed real tight. I have no leaks in my door anymore. You can see I've put on a couple other thermometers, 3 of them right at the cooking grate level, and then 2 at the top. I also used a wool welding blanket I cut it to cover the entire smoking chamber. That keeps it good and insulated, and I can smoke in the cold. Here's my charcoal basket, and how I use that charcoal basket is I actually have it raised up 3 inches above the bottom. Hopefully you can see this when I put this in here. And you can see that it sits quite a bit higher than your fire would normally be. And what that allows you to do is to get more air movement around your charcoal basket and maintain a steady temperature much easier. Those are my modifications that I've done. If you've got any questions, Josh, feel free to give me a call.